There's a little-known revolutionary that actually changed the landscape of video games that you all probably didn't even know. Kanye West has been into video games for a very long time. You're not going to believe this. I've been doing a lot of research on Kanye West and what his attraction is to video games, and it's quite fascinating. Yes, along with Yoo-Hoo and Fly Swatters, there's one other thing that Kanye West really loves, and that's video games. Like Ye's involvement with designing video games and coming up with concepts for video games actually predates him making beats for the likes of Twista and Jay-Z. Like his first ever video game he came up with, actually, it was pretty wild. The idea and the concept, as Kanye describes it as, quote, Mario with genitals. Yeah, my man's was putting arms and feet on a bunch of penises, pretty much creating genital jousting before Free Lives and Devolver ever came up with the concept. But that was at the tender age of 12, which Kanye attributes his sexual addiction at the time at an early age to him coming up with such a hypersexual video game that'll never see the light of day unless, you know, Ye wants to get sued by Nintendo. Or maybe his cousin decides to steal his laptop or something that he was bitches on. Also, editor's note, if you show genital jousting, can you please put tips on the heads, like blur them out with Kanye West's head or something? Like, I mean his actual head. Yeah.
Nice approach.
And with this small story from Kanye West's past, you can already tell he has a very strange history regarding video games. And as time passed, it only got weirder as the artist notes video games as his first love. Like it was actually him composing the music to that genital Mario Brothers game that led to him falling in love with music composition and the development of beats. He actually was developing music for that particular video game, and he felt it so cathartic and so enthralling that he knew that's what he wanted to do. And I gotta tell you, I'm definitely glad he went more of the music route because, well, I mean, that's where he clearly has shined. But as Kanye stated in the past, his Truman Show boat done hit the painting. Y'all seen the movie Truman Show. Y'all know what that reference is all about. And he felt the need to extend his creativity into other areas. And the world would soon see Kanye's first public video game at E3 2016 with the trailer for Only One. But before we talk about Only One, it's important to document the road to E3 2016 for Kanye West. And it all began a year prior at E3 2015. Now, Kanye's vision of making a video game was at an all-time high. He began working with an obscure company for about 6 months and felt he needed to get a AAA video game studio involved. So he went to one of the big three to pitch a new idea that he thought would kind of just revolutionize the video gaming industry as we know it. Now, E3's expo floor was the fairgrounds that would see the famed rapper meeting with the legendary Nintendo game designer and director Shigeru Miyamoto to sell him on an idea that would prove to be Ye's greatest achievement. As the story goes, Kanye showed up to the Nintendo booth unannounced and demanded to speak to Miyamoto-san. As Kanye went into detail for his game, Miyamoto-san couldn't help but just nod his head as he couldn't quite comprehend the situation that was unfolding in front of him. Like, he later called the game Ye pitched very moving and exclaimed, "Whoa!" Now, keep in mind, there's an interpreter between the two, so I can only imagine some things got lost in translation as Kanye's trying to explain his video game to a man who doesn't speak English. So it's going through the translator, and the translator trying to translate whatever Kanye is trying to say, and it's already hard to understand what Kanye is saying in general. So, yeah. But ultimately, Nintendo didn't take Ye up on the idea, but it didn't stop him from inviting yet another Nintendo legend to his clothing warehouse office to sell him on the game. In fact, Miyamoto's the one that supposedly set up the meeting. That's right, Miyamoto set up a meeting with the legendary Reggie Fils-Aimé. We all know and love
What's wrong
Reggie.
with you?
Now, Reggie revealed in a podcast that seems to be either lost to time or behind some weird paywall somewhere that he met with Kim Kardashian and Ye, and after Kanye pitched his idea, he told him that Kanye does not want to work with Nintendo because of how strict and hard they are to work with. And of course, Kanye told him, yes, Ye wants to work with you. I don't know if he called himself by the third person, but I wouldn't put it past him. Now, it didn't work out, and Reggie got his ass out of there as fast as he possibly could. But Kanye didn't let that whole meeting deter him. What in the world? Now, it didn't work out, and Reggie Fils-Aimé got his ass out of there as quick as he... Oh, my goodness. It's very hot wearing this damn jacket. Jeez. I'm scorching. I don't know how Kanye wore this jacket on that show and wasn't sweating. I am extremely hot right now. Anyways, let's get back to it. Now, it didn't work out, and Reggie got his ass out of there as quick as he possibly could. But Kanye didn't let that meeting deter him, as he didn't let the whole, Nike shoe deal stop him from trying again with Adidas. And that was pretty successful for him. Now, only this time, Ye was going independent. And come E3 2016, Kanye revealed to the world only one. Now, this was going to be a mobile video game by a film and animation studio called Encyclopedia Pictura. Now, it was a linear game where the player was tasked with navigating Kanye's late mom to heaven. Now, the game's name comes from the song entitled Only One, which is dedicated to Kanye's mom. Now, the game features whimsical imagery depicting Donda, Kanye's mom, as an angel riding a Pegasus and described as an endless runner devoid of the concept of death. Now, the game was very similar to Robot Unicorn Attack Heavy Metal by Adult Swim Games, which also was an endless runner, and probably what inspired Kanye in the concept of his video game. Kanye probably is a big gamer on his mobile devices. But after the big reveal at E3 2016, despite the fact that the game is about traversing the heavens to reach those pearly white gates and cross over to the other side, only one never made it to the other side and remained in limbo until the studio behind it, Encyclopedia Pictura, decided to abandon the project altogether. So when Kanye said,
"Right now I'm working on a video game for only one, and the idea is it's my mother going through the gates of heaven, and you got to bring her to the highest gates of heaven by holding her to the light." And we've been working on it for like 6 months. So
little did he know that it might have been too ambitious for him to pull off. But South Park managed to do so in their video game that released in 2017, The Fractured But Whole. It was their way of kind of just poking fun at the entire premise of a woman riding a winged horse to get to heaven in Flappy Bird style. I mean, I doubt there'd be all these different, obstacles that'll stop you from getting there. I mean, at what point do you think to yourself that maybe the Holy Spirits in heaven just don't want you up there if all these majestic objects keep blocking your way? I'm trying to get to heaven, baby. Anyways, South Park was able to pull it off. They were able to pull off what Kanye couldn't. Numerous times, apparently. Like, there's quite a handful of South Park-related video games with varying quality. Now, I think Kanye's issue is that, he's a bit of a perfectionist and likely difficult to work with on a business level for some of these corporate entities. But he did, however, manage to convince The Gap and Balenciaga to partner up with him 6 years later to create a video game based on his collaborative clothing efforts between the two clothing brands called Yeezy Gap, engineered by Balenciaga. How original is that name? The purpose of the game is to allow players to render virtual avatars that showcase the Gap Balenciaga clothing line. Shameless self-promotion, I guess. Anyways, now once you choose your fit, you take to the air to collect a bunch of doves. And the interesting thing about the game is it kind of looks like it's borrowing from Kanye's previous failed attempt, Only One. Like, the game has you ascending to the sky, and with every dove you collect, you continue to ascend upwards in an endless cycle. So yet another endless runner type video game. Only this time it's vertical, not horizontal gameplay. Now, the visuals clearly borrows assets from Only One. Ye's been really obsessed, it seems, with creating an endless runner where the player traverses the heavens, and he finally was able to accomplish it. He was finally able to create a video game. He succeeded, but it didn't stop there with him. He also made this really unique ad for Gap Balenciaga where it plays out like GTA. After selecting your character's style, you have to find your way to the top of a building by traversing the urban streets of Japan looking for some invisible key to a van, and then it just ends on a rooftop. But the question, I have is, where is the police in this city filled with all these folks wearing shiesty masks? Like, I mean, look at that. I mean, he's got 4 stars. That's 4 stars right there. I don't know. Maybe the laws in Shibuya, I don't know. Maybe they're a little bit lax. Who knows? Anyway, Kanye finally achieved his goal of making a video game. But the greatest rapper alive wouldn't be satisfied with just that achievement. There was also the unreleased album called TurboGrafx-16, named after the 1989 video game console. It was Ye's favorite console, apparently, as a child. I never heard of the TurboGrafx-16 console, and odds are you watching this, you never heard of it either. It's because it was a complete failure here in the US, getting beaten out by the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. But Kanye's always got to go against the grain with everything he does, including the gaming habits that he has. The TurboGrafx-16 was supposed to be Kanye's next album after Life of Pablo, but he scrapped it, along with that Love Everyone album. I looked at the supposed track listing for TurboGrafx-16, and none of the songs on it seem like they're video game inspired. So, I don't know, good riddance, I guess. I mean, the damn thing had tracks called Welcome to UCLA, Euro, Bad Night, All Eyes on Ye, Face Down, No Reason, Jealous, Problem, The Summer League. What the hell does any of that mean? It's music that is lost to time. Now, outside of Kanye's attempts at video games, other people have taken a stab at making ones based on the rapper. Kanye West 3030 was an RPG that came out back in 2013 on PC, which sees you as Kanye falling into a portal that transports you to the year 3030. Now, in this dystopian future, Lil B's clone rules the world, and Ye's the chosen one, as always. He's the chosen one to take him down. And along this hip-hop journey, Ye teams up with the likes of RZA, MF Doom, and non-holographic Tupac. It's the best type of Tupac, I guess. As well as being challenged by the likes of Eminem and Nicki Minaj. It's kind of nuts. It was really interesting gameplay that kind of, reminded me of Pokemon, the old Pokemon games on Game Boy. Now, the game had many, many mysteries. One being this weird way of gaining access to a secret section of the game where if you type the word ascend into a dialogue box to an NPC, well, you'll find out that the game was all a hoax for this portion of the game. It's kind of weird. It's a bunch of terminals where you have to type in specific codes, screenshot a QR code, enter more code, and then be prompted to enter your personal information. Yeah, it really was kind of weird and scary, and it kind of went into like ARG territory where there's talks of joining the Kanye Quest cult. As far as I'm concerned, that's how Sunday Service was born. You remember Sunday Service? You remember that Kanye's choir that performs every single Sunday wearing those pink shirts? Sunday Service, y'all remember them. Now, Kanye may have gone off the deep end, claiming Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy, holding fly swatters, wearing masks on the Alex Jones show. But, some might say that insanity bleeds into the creative genius for him. Now, he's a nutty guy, but he also said once, name one genius that ain't crazy. Well, I mean, I'm sure we can find more than just one. I don't know. Einstein, he was a genius. He wasn't crazy. Picasso, was Picasso a genius? Was he crazy? Is that the one that cut off his ear? Anyways, I get it. I get what Kanye is saying. Kanye really likes to kind of just like sensationalize things to build up hype. His odd journey to getting into the gaming industry probably won't end here with the Gap Balenciaga video game, and will definitely document every moment as this zany guy continues to create more music, shoes, and mobile games. Now, he's been quiet as of late, but you know what they say. It's always calm before the storm. I'm sure this isn't the last we've heard of Kanye West talking about video games, getting involved in video games. I mean, you saw him at Kid Cudi's house that one time. He was playing Sonic, and the way he spoke about Sonic the Hedgehog was interesting. I've never heard Kanye or a rapper on any level talk about Sonic the Hedgehog the way he talked about Sonic the Hedgehog. And it made me think, this man is probably working on another video game that is set to take the world by storm. But it's not like, that Gap Balenciaga video game took the world by storm. How many of you all even knew about that game? I think that is the question that I have for you before we end this video. Now, the genius behind this man knows no limits. He'll continue to create music. He'll continue to create clothing. But one thing's for certain, the big three, and I'm talking about Microsoft, Sony, PlayStation, of course, Nintendo, they probably will not embrace him because the man's freaking crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. But you know what? He gave us so many great tracks over the years. So I don't know. Who's to say what's to come next from this guy? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Shout out to all the members here. You all keep me motivated, and you all keep these videos coming, and they will continue to come. Thank you so much. And if you are not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button. I do videos like this every single week, and I want you to see them. So, and in order to see them, well, you got to click the button. Do you not know how buttons work? Please click the button. Can you show them how the button works? You just click it. Click it or tick it. I won't give you a ticket. And I am watching the comments. I will be reading each and every comment. So please, I want you all, if you have gotten to this point in the video, I'm going to need you to drop a special emoji. And it's going to have to be the emoji of the cry face. Yes, just shed one tear for me. I'll see you down there, guys. Until the next one, take care. Now, I am extremely hot, so I gotta take this off. It's not cold in here. It's not like it's a winter storm. I don't even know why I have this jacket on. Well, I have it on because Kanye West wore this on Alex Jones. He wore this on the Alex Jones show, so of course I had to wear it too. Like I was gonna pass up an opportunity to wear this awesome jacket. Yeah, well, I gotta go. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.